CoreWeave is down 40% after reporting earnings. Let me get the misconceptions out of the way right from the start. It crushed it in earnings. It crushed it. It beat analyst expectations by a large margin. Revenue all-time high. Earnings all-time high. Customer base all-time high. Backlog all-time high. Wherever you look, this company reached an all-time high. I know what you're wondering. If the quarter was so amazing, why is the stock plummeting? And this is due to capacity constraint because they weren't actually building their own data center. And this was a well-known fact. But when the company they hired to build those data centers couldn't meet the demand of CoreWeave, they actually had to lower guidance for the future. And they don't know when this capacity constraint will be resolved. This is putting investors in a panic mode. And you know why investors are in a panic mode? Because CoreWeave only has a small window to make as much money as possible and to actually gain a moat before it pretty much becomes a forgotten stock or a forgotten company, or worse, gets acquired. And this image has been floating around a bit that this might happen in the near future. What makes this such a bad business in the next 2 years, and this is most analysts' projection, we are going to meet demand, meaning the hyperscalers like Amazon, Meta, Google, everyone will have more than enough computing power they need, not just to power their own services, but their customers' products and services. What happens to CoreWeave when they are no longer the company that people go to when they can't get the demand from the hyperscalers? What if the hyperscalers start a price war? Can CoreWeave compete? No, it can't. It's already a company that loses money every year and every quarter. What will happen to CoreWeave when it actually has to compete with the scale of Amazon, scale of Azure, scale of Google? And Meta is looking to enter the hyperscaler game as well, because they themselves said we're going to have excess compute in the near future and we're thinking of lending it out to other people at a cheaper cost. What will happen to CoreWeave? And this is the scary part. It needs to build a moat very quick and very fast. And this is where the theory is that NVIDIA will eventually acquire CoreWeave to become a data center company. That could happen, and honestly, I think that is the best case scenario. I think the most likely case scenario is all of their assets get acquired for pennies on a dollar by one of the big hyperscalers like Amazon, Google, Meta, or any of the other big hyperscalers. But the underlying fact is this is an overpriced, overblown asset with little to no value. And if you head over to CommonInvestor.net and start plugging in your thesis, you're gonna realize something very devastating. For most cases, CoreWeave is overvalued by 3 to 4x, not percent, X. When I plugged in my numbers, I was shocked. I didn't want to even touch this company. You have such a high valuation for a company that has no moat. Again, that's one of the greatest websites in the world to put a number behind your thesis.